G'day Beaks and Beaks to be. Are you curious about learning more about beekeeping? I have been a beekeeper for over 55 years and rearing queen bees since the 1980s. Many beaks do not know or realise that nukes can be beneficial to save a lot of money, also time when a queen fails or is killed. Nukes in my area can be worked all year round. Also, nukes in many parts of the world in a similar way. G'day Beaks. This is one of our 4-frame nukes. It is most important that you run a couple of extra hives, or at least one extra hive, with your honey production hives so that they're independent of each other. So this is what we run as 4-frame nukes. When bees are required, no excluder is used. The double 4-frame nuke is now complete, with its rain hood and M-lock fitted. Alternatively, after bee numbers have been built up and you no longer require bees, we place an excluder on and they fill above the excluder with honey only. It's surprising just how much honey a 4-frame nuke can produce. Problems that can occur. The beak must have time to work their nukes, as they can swarm very quickly if unattended. I work my nukes every 7 to 10 days between spring and autumn.
So this is at the church site at about 10 a.m?
Yep, 10 a.m, yep.
And we're looking at the start of a swarm?
Start of a swarm, yeah. Yep. This is a swarm that has started. Once the hive is congested, any hive will swarm, any time of the year. For survival, there are 3 different ways queens can be reared. Number 1 is emergency, number 2 is supersedure method, or 3 is through the swarm method.
Another queen cell there that's clearly hatched with a nice clear trapdoor. More evidence that it's probably swarmed previously.
The mats are placed on all hives when the nighttime temperature goes down to 18 degrees Celsius. After the mats are placed, I still check the nukes, generally every 2 weeks, using the finger test at the rear. 1, 2 or 3 fingers. The nukes are not opened. Having warm homes in winter, the bees are able to keep high numbers being reared and benefit from the first honey flow after winter. Benefits of having your own queens. Why buy queens when you can rear your own? Locally reared queens can be better than any bought queens. Queens are not difficult to raise, but the beak must be knowledgeable and have time to do it.
Alright, we've just been standing there and this one's just started swarming.
Yep. Pouring out the front.
And then Alan spied the queen dropping out.
Yep, here's the queen here, look,
and
on the ground.
She's just down here.
Yep, look. There she is there.
And she's trying to run away.
Well, she's trying to fly away, but she can't.
So if her wing wasn't clipped, they'd all be gone, wouldn't they?
Yep. There's the queen. Now see how she's smaller?
Yep.
She's reduced in size, so she's able to fly again.
Oh, wow.
She can't fly when she's in full mating.
Look at them pouring out.
Yeah. When the swarm alights, nearly 50% of the current bees go with the first swarm. Some hives can swarm over and over again and deplete the hive to such an extent that there will be no bees left for survival. You have to get back in again.
there. As you can see, the queen from the Italian hybrid is a lovely big golden queen. They're going for your camera, right, aren't they? Alrighty, so it's hit about 23 degrees and we thought it's time to check our nukes out to see to make sure they're not honey bound. And we've got a perfect example here of how strong nukes can be coming into the start of the season and over winter. We want to check to make sure that our nucleus hives are not honey bound, therefore too much honey.
And that will ensure that the hive will swarm.
Yeah, exactly. She's not cramped and therefore, you know, the swarming tendency is completely reduced. And of course, more eggs, more bees. So in this particular example here, we had a double 4-frame with an excluder, and the top was 4 frames of honey, and we obviously expected down the bottom, just coming out of winter now. Well, sorry, we are in July. but we expected to find a lot more honey downstairs. And in fact, we found more or less 3.5 frames of brood, maybe half a frame of honey down there, which means that the queen was ready to go. And at this point, if we left it any longer, we may have ended up losing the hive through swarming or not having her as productive as you'd want. So what we've done is lifted a frame or two of honey and put a sticky downstairs, and most importantly, we've now removed the excluder, and that's going to enable the queen to work up and down all those frames and drastically build up bee numbers. And obviously from that we've taken 2 frames of honey, which there's still more to be taken, but we'll let them catch up a bit more brood rearing.
Nuke uses. No loss of honey production. Can be used for supply of queen or queens any time of the year. Can be used for equalising any hive. Can be used for supplying nurse bees to any hive. There are a number of other ways to rear queens. I do not rear queens commercially. I have been rearing queens since 1988. I generally rear up to 30 queens at any one time, in spring or autumn only.